The benefits of a personal project. All right, welcome back. Cheers. Welcome back to Photography After Hours, and today we're going to be talking about the benefits of a personal project. So, welcome Sprague, Susie, Scott, and my name is Nick. We're out here with After Hours, and we are sponsored by PAC, who does photo walks, all that stuff up there on the screen. You can just check it out at photoadvclub.com.
Meetings, seminars, networks, workshops, photo trips.
Bam. You memorized that. That was good without even looking. So we just had another episode right before this, and if you're watching them sequentially, we were talking about developing a style. And one of the ways of developing a style is actually going out there and doing personal projects. So, you and I were talking about this earlier. So, what kind of personal projects, or let's go over a definition of what a personal project is. We'll start there so people know.
Well, a personal project is really anything that you do on a consistent basis for yourself. Really, it's not really for any other purpose other than just something that you feel passionate about, something you feel like you want to do.
So like showers.
And it's
amazing.
kind of a habitual thing. I mean, it becomes
a hot soapy shower. That's right.
It's something that you do on a regular basis, and there's usually a purpose behind it.
Okay, so Sprague, you've been to Cuba and you had done some pictures there. Was there a constant theme that you were trying to hitch into and like that you were working with? I know, like you were doing lots of cars, you were doing kind of people shots. Were you kind of trying to stick within that, or?
When I went down there, I had this idea that I wanted to get some pictures of the cars and some different settings, because you've got a lot of vintage stuff down there and a lot of old buildings, and I really wanted to make sure I got those shots and really got a bunch of them. But on top of that, what I was really terrible at was taking people pictures, and the person who led our tour down to Cuba was very good at that, and he was very good at explaining to us how to capture emotions in people and action in people and get an image of people that was really compelling, and that was something I was terrible at. So that became my mission, is I needed to get much better at that. So I took hundreds, thousands of shots, and was very fortunate because he put us up in front of some really great people and some great settings to do it. So
you do a great job at that.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Scared those people. They all look so lifeless too.
No, you do get some great emotion and stuff, and you get the setting and all kinds of.
So one of the things I know I've seen you do before, and you've done it just kind of outside of the realm of things, is personal projects just on photo walks. So not even a lifelong personal project. Like hey, I'm going to shoot all circles.
Yeah, just give yourself kind of a focus, a theme, and challenge. So even for something like a photo walk where everyone else is just kind of running around shooting random stuff, you kind of focus yourself in and kind of discipline. I guess that's kind of more of what a personal project is for, is it gives you a little bit of discipline. So, you tell yourself, okay, I'm only going to shoot with available light, and I want, I want to mix, some sort of available light source and bleed in the background or darken the background, or, give yourself some challenge to work with, or give yourself a focus to shoot. I'm only going to shoot something red and something square,
And then just
find that. Seek out things that are red or things that are square in shape, or and so that gives you a little bit of focus and it gives you a little bit more discipline. It's kind of, like brain training, your vision.
I think there are a couple of objectives, at least two main objectives when it comes to any personal project. One would be, like you said, to come away from it having gained skills and refined certain, gotten better at something, right? And the other is to create a body of work that has consistency in it. And I think anybody can do it, even if you're a brand new photographer. So something that I helped my mom with that was a personal project of hers when she first got essentially re-interested in photography after retiring was to encourage her to go take a photograph at the same location of the same scene repeatedly over time. So at first it was every week, and then it was every day for a period of time. But extended over time, you can see the seasons. And during all of that, she was learning a little bit more about her camera, and she could see the progression of her skills as well. So it served multiple purposes.
So I definitely see the point in that, and I've seen people do that where they put a camera in their window and they just take a picture every day, and then they could kind of almost time lapse it. It's just one a day, but then you'll see like everything happening.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like
and she would walk out there and take the photo. So every time she had to set the camera to the settings that it was sunrise, or as it was sunset, or it was wintertime, or it was bright sunny, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, it's like those 365 projects,
They're hard.
They're hard. It takes dedication. It takes commitment. It takes a lot of effort to do it. I mean,
try to get a good creative picture.
Exactly, every single day, and that really is great training. And then there's the other little projects that you do on the side. Like I had a project where it's like every city I went to, I would take a nighttime cityscape of the city. I would find some location, and I would start collecting like every city, and shoot a cityscape of that city.
That's kind of like a lifelong one.
Yeah, and so it's just pick something that you can do, and it could be several topics. I did a series where we do like indigenous people. So it could be a thing that you tack on to your travel. Every time you travel someplace, it's like, okay, I'm going to be traveling, but I also want to do this thing for my project, and it whether it's shooting waterfalls or whatever it is, just pick something and kind of like run with it. Levi's doing his little Steve Jobs.
Yeah. So he's doing Steve Jobs.
His Steve Jobs black and white photos, and he's collected enough of a body of work where it's like
Scott Kelby had him featured on his blog, and he's getting notoriety. He's shooting it. People know him as, you're the guy that does the Steve Jobs photos. They may not know his name, but they know who he is and know of him. So, and Joel Grimes talks about that. Tony Mendrick talks about that. Is create a body of work, do a project. I think Joel and Tony both do 52. So 52 weeks. Every week they have a new project they do. They have a model come in. They forward think the whole shoot and the theme and the makeup and all that stuff. And they do it to kind of keep sharp and always be evolving. So.
Well, and my day job, I do a lot of travel, of course, and so you go to different cities, different times a day, and sometimes it's just a matter of picking something in a specific city that you want to go and photograph, rather extensively. We had a overnight in Oklahoma City one time, and I went down there at midnight and it was raining, and photographed the Oklahoma Memorial where the bombing, of course, took place. And it was really dramatic because you've got night, you've got the lights, you've got the fog, you've got the rain. And I was down there from about midnight till 2 a.m, and it wasn't nobody there but me and the security guard, just wandering around. And so you can sometimes do those things on kind of an a la carte basis.
Cool. So, is there any projects you guys are working on right now, personal projects that you're thinking about starting?
Well, I still have that ongoing, and I wanted to say one more point about, doing these projects, like the cityscape project that I do, and I go to, various cities and shoot that. I randomly posted that to like a 500 pics page, and it ended up selling. So it's like, just completely out of the blue, like totally random, and I ended up selling a commercial license on something that I was just like didn't even have any.
For your own fun.
Yeah, I didn't even have any desire to sell it. The guy hounded me. He kept emailing me. He's like, "Hey, I need this photo. I want it." And so I ended up selling.
The price is going up.
So the thing is that a lot of times your personal projects can turn into paid work, or it can turn into something. A lot of
jobs are like that, though. You just do it because you love it, and then all of a sudden someone's like, "Hey, I want you to do this for me." Whether it's you're helping the guy across the street fix a car, or you're doing something in photography. It's just you start doing it, and people see you like it, and it turns into something.
Right.
So cool. So on anyone else doing personal projects or upcoming personal projects?
I kind of try to pull elements from our various photo walks and events, model shoots and things, because a lot of times that's really the only thing I really get a lot of time to shoot. We're busy with a lot of pack events. So something that I do just for my own personal development and just for enjoyment is to pull various elements from those shoots and try to combine them all into one image, especially when they're from very different kind of things.
That's indeed.
So it's kind of fun.
Cool. So I have an entire project that I work on that's just a cemetery project. So it's old cemeteries from way back when. Like,
And all your Western stuff too.
yeah, that's a whole separate project that happened when I was out here. So the film day one that I started doing back when I had a film camera, a Nikon film camera. For everyone thinks I'm just a Canon lover. I used to shoot a Nikon. Hi, I'm Nick. I used to shoot a Nikon.
Hi, Nick.
So I started this project, and I just started shooting old cemeteries, and it became a thing. And I just I've actually seen a bumper sticker that says "I photograph old cemeteries," and that kind of made me even feel more weird about it. Like, I thought I was the only
It's
one.
like this small cult club that
Evidently, it's very odd, but I like the history of it. I like seeing, like, people didn't live.
New Orleans.
I've shot them all in New Orleans. People didn't live very long back then, and there's so much history and it's really gritty and it's kind of a serene place to go. Actually, there's no one there. It's quiet all the time. So I got into doing that, and then I did the cowboy project out here, and those are both ongoing. I don't get to shoot the cemeteries as much because they suck out in Arizona. They're non-existent and they're flat. But they're
They're
back
just
east.
crosses on the side of the highway.
Yeah, little
Yeah,
steps
yeah.
that rot away. And...
But when I go back east, I'm going back and speaking at B&H. I'll be sure to find a few out there and shoot them and everything. And then the cowboy project just kind of happened. I moved out here and I started shooting it, and I didn't really intend it to be a project. It just happened, and I'm kind of in a lull now because I've taken so many cowboy photos, but I kind of make them all gritty and old looking and like a Western kind of feel to them, and kind of make fun of myself all the time because I have all this high-end equipment, and I make them look like my old film pictures or worse.
That's the style.
That's the style, but it's intentional, like you said. So like we talked about in the one before, develop a style. So those are two projects I'm working on. And then I have my black and white projects that I work on and some other different things like that. So, I do bunch stuff out into these different projects. And when I just redid my whole Lightroom for Lightroom Mobile, I had like best of 2011, 12, 13, and I started pulling them all out of there and putting them into different folders to kind of fuse that style in even more because, they were just all random. Yeah, best of 2013. And it's like, well, there's some cowboy, there's some black and white, there's some this. So I'm trying to separate them off so they do have these kind of running themes when you show someone, here's my black and whites.
Yeah, I've started a project with my wife. She likes to cook and I like to eat, but I also like to photograph her food. So we're doing a little bit of food photography. So we've combined our interests together, and who knows where that goes, if it's a recipe book or a little whatever, I don't know.
Pinterest.
Yeah, something. But it's something that we do together. It's something that she likes, something that I like, and it's totally outside of my wheelhouse because
You should invite us over for
I-
dinner.
Well, yeah,
You probably have like homemade pizza all the time and stuff.
we did have some homemade pizza. It was amazing.
This is like a Scott birthday episode. It was Scott's birthday yesterday.
Hey, cheers.
Cake and pizza. And it was good.
So yeah, definitely just combine different interests. Build a project. Go out there, do a project. Start a project. It's not hard. You just have to kind of focus in on something and do a bunch of it. And it doesn't have to be thousands of pictures. It could be 20. Do 20 pictures that are all very similar, but in different places. Don't just, you can shoot it all, but kind of start to forward think what you guys want to shoot and how you want to shoot it and how they're going to fit together after, I think. So, anything else anyone wants to bring in? No one has anything to say. But before, when we were running out of time, you guys were all like talkative and stuff. We're like 20 minutes, and I'm like, everyone's very chatty. And now we have 2 minutes left.
Well,
and
I've got
one's
a personal project.
Over time, so.
No, we had the TV go off. It was chaos. You guys missed all that.
This episode's already gone downhill. So
Just have some cake or something is what sounds good to me. Well, I have a personal project that is sort of born of the fact that I'm selling my place, and the real estate agent said, "Hey, you're a photographer. Why don't you take the pictures?" I say, "Good idea. I know nothing about shooting interiors, so apparently I'm going to learn." And so I was inspired a little bit by Joey Carmen, who came and spoke to us, who spoke about rather than just taking a single picture with a wide-angle lens, to take brackets of 12 pictures basically, I guess it is, and then stitch them together in Photoshop. So I'm going to try that effect, as well as I've also got some little strobes that I'm going to use that I can trigger remotely, and I'm going to see if I can shoot this interior and make it look halfway decent. And
cool. There you go. And you learn something new, and maybe find out that you're like it, or you're good at it, or can make money at it.
Or I'm terrible at it. Who knows?
The MLS is terrible. It's like you go buy a house and it's like no picture, no picture, no picture. It's like I skip over them. They can be beautiful houses, but you're like, there's no picture. I'm not even going to bother showing up.
Well, and most of them look like iPhone pictures. I mean, they're just these crazy angles, and they're blurry, and they're not saturated, and I think that's
the ones you stop at are the ones that have better pictures. Those are the ones people sell quicker, and that,
Well, you're selling a lifestyle, and you're trying to get somebody to project themselves into it, and most of these pictures you just look at, and it's just like, well, it's just a room. And,
yeah. All right, we're out of time now. No.
What? You want me to be quiet now?
So no, I
throw my beer at you.
I definitely agree. That would work, and you learn something new. You learn a skill at the very least. So and you find out if you're good or bad at it.
Yeah.
Like I will never do that again. Or I want to do more.
Yeah, and I've got plenty of people here who will tell me that I didn't do a good job at it. It's like, wow.
So cool. Well, go out there. Go out there and do a personal project, for yourself. You're not doing it for anyone else. That's why it's called a personal project. Go out, find something you want to shoot, or you don't want to shoot and you want to get outside the box, and then post down below. If you've done a personal project, post a link to your pictures. You're allowed to put links on there. Tell us all about it. We'd love to see it. So till next time, we'll see you then. We'll probably have the same amount of beer and same clothes.